Alrighty, everyone. Dustin Lynch has released his fifth studio album, Blue in the Sky, and it's time to talk about it. Yes, Dustin Lynch, everyone's favorite good girl loving small town boy who loves riding roads under country stars. He is back with this brand new full length LP titled Blue in the Sky, which, by the way, S tier album cover. I know there's not much to it, but something about the framing of the shot and mostly the colors. I just love this album cover. I also think from a marketing standpoint, it's probably everything you'd want from a mainstream cover. Simple, identifiable, eye-catching, great album cover, but that's not what we're here to discuss. We're here to discuss the music behind the album cover. Truth be told, I've never been a big Dustin Lynch fan. I know a good number of people really adore his older stuff with songs like Cowboys and Angels, and while he definitely has some admirable work, his whole discography I found a little spotty, a little overdone, like it's being forced, and nothing felt more overdone, more spotty, but also more hollow than his 2020 album Tullahoma, which, man, outside of a song or two, that thing was a bit of a disaster. But going into this record, I was much more optimistic than you'd think, simply because the pre-releases for the most part have been pretty solid. His duet Thinking About You with fellow Canuck Mackenzie Porter was a real grower in my eyes. I've really opened up to loving that song as of late, but also the two tracks that close out the show, Pasadena and Not Every Cowboy, I find quite stellar. Pasadena probably being my favorite song from this album. I also considered it for my best songs of 2021, even if it didn't make the final cut. My point is, outside of Tequila on a Boat, which I find droning and lifeless, I went into this album pretty open-minded, ready to receive whatever Dustin was going to throw my way, and honestly, all things considered, it was a pretty decent record. Because while this album still features a lot of this big, booming production, it also feels quite country at times, and lyrically I think there's a good bit to love as well. The album opens with Party Mode, which I actually quite enjoy, even if the lyrics hardly count as lyrics. I mean, this has to be one of the most stereotypical pieces of Dustin Lynch writing you'll ever find. But sonically, I love the groove. The chorus is super catchy. I love the breakdown before the chorus hits, the drinking every single drink, 7 days a week. But yeah, even though I understand the general dislike towards the song, in the grand scheme of things, I think it fittingly sets the tone in a positive way. We then transition into a pretty solid stretch of music here from the aforementioned Thinking About You right through to Break It on a Beach. Thinking About You is this buttery smooth duet with some great vocal chemistry. Mackenzie specifically just sounds fantastic, but the song also features production that stays surprisingly tame. Sure, there's some pop influence, but one thing this album made me notice is when Dustin just tames those poppier elements, they can actually work to his advantage. Stars Like Confetti is similar to Party Mode in the sense that I understand the dislike towards it. It's arguably the most booming song on the record, huge percussion, huge atmospheric elements just soaring through the mix. Lyrically, it's also another very Dustin Lynch song about making out under the stars, but like I said, similar to Party Mode, I actually don't mind it. I also think a big part of that approval comes from seeing Dustin live. I believe I talked about it on the podcast, but I went to the CCMA Awards closer to the end of last year, and Dustin came out to perform Thinking About You with Mackenzie Porter, and not only did Dustin sound great live, but it gave me a new appreciation for what he's going for with songs like Stars Like Confetti. I can see this being a crowd favorite at a big festival. Now, that doesn't mean I'm just going to excuse any song meant for the big crowd, but I do think despite the overdone production, the song itself flows really well. Dustin's vocals are on point as they are with pretty much every song here, and generally to me it reads as a super inoffensive crowd pleaser. We then move into the song rivaling Pasadena for my favorite song on this album, Something That Makes You Smile. It's a super simple anthem encouraging you to make the most of your life, but good golly, does it ever sound good. It's up there as one of the most country moments on the album, which definitely contributes to my love for it, but how can you not love the sound of this thing? The soft train track percussion, the breezy guitars. I also love the addition of the female background vocals. In a weird way, it almost reminds me of Dolly Parton's contributions on When I Get Where I'm Going. I don't know why, my mind just goes there. Break It on a Beach is definitely where we started descending further into this 2017 pop country sound, but I do like the catch of the song. Dustin does love singing about the summer, and with the summer comes the beach, and the song is just Dustin complaining about the fact this girl dumped him while he was on a beach, because now the beach leaves a sour taste in his mouth. As I said, production is definitely more poppy. This one's definitely walking the line of tolerance for me, but I give it the pass. Then, however, we go through the roughest patch of the album. The songs slowly become more pandering, less country, and more what you'd expect from Dustin Lynch. Tennessee Trouble, Summer Never Ended, and Back Road Tennessee all collectively offer up much of nothing. As I said, more the type of music I would have been expecting had the singles leading up to this thing not been as good as they were. But once you see past that, the album gets back to some solid cuts to close it out. I slept on Huntin' Land with Riley Green for a while. I never really gave it a fair chance until this whole album came out, and I must say, after reading into the song a little more, it definitely makes me chuckle. It's Dustin singing about this relationship that isn't working. The girl just doesn't approve of his hobbies, she never wants to do anything fun, but he doesn't want to cut her off just yet because her dad has the ideal property for hunting, so he's gonna bite the bullet and see it through at least until December. I also love that subtle line about biting a bullet in a hunting song, but yeah, Riley hops on, provides a great little cameo feature, and overall, I just really like that song. Then we close the album with Pasadena and Not Every Cowboy. I've already talked about them on the channel before and in this review, but I think both songs are great. Specifically, Pasadena provides some great Western influence. Loving the fiddle winding through both tracks really leaves you with a good taste in your mouth. So yeah, overall, do I think this record is great? No, there's still that middle patch that really haunts it in my eyes, and outside of that middle patch, the rest is by no means at an exceptional standard, but I do think it shows a lot of improvement, especially after Tullahoma, and it just provides some fun, inoffensive pop country music that I feel pretty positively towards. I don't really have a whole lot more to say. I think this album's good, provides some fun moments, some great country moments, and I hope Dustin can continue to build on those positive notes as he moves forward in his career. Rating-wise, I'm going to give this one a 5 right on the dot. And that is all I've got for you guys today. Be sure to let me know what you thought of this album in the comments below. Be sure to like this video if you enjoyed. If you're new, maybe consider subscribing for more country music content. Links to my Instagram, Discord, and podcast are all down below in the description. Be sure to check those out. And yeah, until next time, I hope you guys have a great day.